You know, today I was prepared to produce a masterful video dealing with the up-and-coming trip by one Barack Hussein Obama to Africa. A trip, according to some, will be the most expensive in the history of this nation. And I was prepared to produce a video dealing with this subject, wherein I was going to link Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad, and Barack Obama together. And if you don't really know what thread connects these individuals, then you may want to tune into that video. I'm going to be producing it Saturday, and I'm going to be posting it on my other channel. And the reason why I decided to push that back is because there was a set of issues that I wanted to address in this video. Now, I've addressed this subject in the past, but for some odd reason, the facts that I've put forth can't be digested by the people who continually have a problem with this channel and other channels like it. Here on YouTube, there is a cadre of Negroes who have taken it upon themselves to be the defenders of not only black women, but the image of black women and the image of black people as it is being depicted here on YouTube with certain channels. The image, according to this cadre, is negative, and they feel that they have to do something to offset these negative depictions of not only black women, but black people by these particular channels here on YouTube. Now, as again, I said, I've addressed this issue in the past, but I'm going to do it once again, and in this particular video, I'm going to put together yet another ironclad position that the detractors simply won't be able to deconstruct. Simply put, when you look at the image of the Negro, and you take into consideration how he is portrayed in American society, in less than 30 years, the Afro-American Negro, when talking about his image on network television, the Afro-American Negro has gone from the Cosbys, a particular popular program depicting a black man, black woman who loved each other, loved their children, professional. Some black people said that wasn't a positive, accurate portrayal because the father was a lawyer, or the mother was a lawyer, and the father was a doctor. Y'all said that wasn't an accurate depiction of the families in black America. When you take into consideration the spinoff from the Cosbys, Another World, a program dealing with young black college students at a historically black college and the different challenges that they face. Very positive depiction of not only black youth, but black men and black women. And in less than 30 years, y'all have gone from having those types of images on network primetime television to the Basketball Wives, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and most recently, Love and Hip Hop, be it Atlanta or New York. And you Negroes, these cadre of Negroes who seek to defend the image of black women and black people on YouTube, who wants to target channels who merely discuss these issues, who merely highlight these issues. These individuals, and according to the cadre of Negroes, are doing so much damage to the to the image of black women. It is so negative. The things that they say, oh my God, we must do something. Something must be done. So these cadre of Negroes, they make video after video on YouTube targeting these particular channels that they consider to be projecting a negative image of black women and black people. But when you consider, and this is one of the reasons why I consider their efforts disingenuous, one of the reasons why I will not engage them, one of the reasons why no matter how many videos they make, I won't respond to them, is because when you take everything else and you put it in its proper context, how can you be so upset with YouTube channels when you look at the type of buffoonery that you have in reality TV that depicts black women in such a negative light? And we don't even need to deal with, basketball wives back in the day. Well, not really back in the day, but, not even 10 years ago, you had Flavor Flav, the Flavor of Love. Can you get any bigger of a minstrel than Flavor Flav? I mean, really? And then the spinoff from the Flavor of Love, you had I Love New York. Can you get any more of a negative depiction of a black female than this woman who called herself New York? I mean, are you serious? This didn't offend you people? This didn't offend black women to have this woman running around with fake breasts, hair full of weave, loud, rude, ignorant, just breathing fresh life into all the negative stereotypes about black women? Yet and still, you didn't have these Negroes who felt that this stuff was that important because they haven't addressed it. And even though Flavor of Love and I Love New York, those are older shows, you still got Basketball Wives. You still have The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And most recently, this buffoonery, Love and Hip Hop. And even though all the women aren't black, you have a few Hispanic women in there, which typically, if you really want to be honest, is a different side of the same coin. And then you always have your ever-present wigger, white wigger, thrown into the mix. But yet and still, these are very negative images. And black people watch this stuff. Black people enjoy it. While you'll go on Facebook and you'll find black women creating statuses about what's going on in Love and Hip Hop. And what's really dysfunctional is that you will find black men creating statuses as well, sitting right next to their woman, watching this buffoonery. But yet and still, with all of this negative depiction of black men on these programs, black women on these programs, this cadre of Negroes on YouTube don't produce one video, don't have one response. And to that negativity that is depicted about black people on a much larger scale, these shows generate billions of viewers. The stuff is posted all over the web. And everyone watches it. Everyone knows about it. Yet and still, these Negroes who have taken up the mantle to be the defenders of all things black have not produced one letter, have not created one protest or petition, have not written one of the record studios or the television studios, have not written VH1, have not written BET, have not written MTV, and all of the negative images that they have on their networks concerning not only black women, but black people. But yet and still, these cadre of Negroes want to create videos and say that they're concerned about the image of black people and black women on YouTube. And then when you take that and you place it against the backdrop of what I just said, then you will begin to understand why I don't take you people serious. You're disingenuous. There's no way that any logically thinking human being who has issues with maybe some of the videos and the depictions of black people will not target Love and Hip Hop, New York and Atlanta, would not target some of these reality shows, Real Housewives or wherever, where they got black women, negative depictions of black women. Hell, we already forgot about Scandal. Hell, the NAACP gave Kerry Washington an Image Award for playing a whore. But yet you Negroes don't see anything wrong with that. You Negroes want to come on YouTube and talk about people are buffooning and cooning. Are you serious? Have you watched an episode of Love and Hip Hop? Have you seen the way those black women conduct themselves on that show, on that minstrel show? And the fact of the matter is, that's most troubling, is that this show is watched by black people. Black people love this garbage. They love this filth. They sit back and they watch it. They record it if they're not at home when it comes on, and they create statuses on Facebook about it. They tweet about it. They just, I can't get enough of Love and Hip Hop. And I've talked to college educated, professional black women, and I asked them, how can you watch that film? One of the sisters had the unmitigated gall to ask me, well, why should I be offended by it? Well, for starters, because you're a black woman. That's one of the reasons why you should find it offensive. But yet and still, the Negro has no problem with that. But yet they will come on YouTube and have and get their panties in a bunch. And when I say panties in a bunch, I'm referring to the men. They'll get their panties in a bunch over YouTube channels that they say are negative towards black women. And so they have taken up the mantle to defend all things black. Oh, you can't disrespect the sisters. If you disrespecting the sisters, you ain't keeping it real. Well, what about the sisters who disrespect themselves by agreeing to act in this buffoonery? Then what about the sisters who not only act in it, but what about the sisters who watch it on a regular basis? And if you Negroes are so concerned with the negative image of black people, why is it that you Negroes will not target these networks? It's the same thing that happened when that coon came out with him and all his baby mamas. That really pushed the envelope, and black people said, you know what, that's enough. We can't have this. No, we cannot have that show on. And they boycotted, they protested, they created petitions, and the network backed out of it. The sponsors backed out of it. So it can be done. So you Negroes sitting here on YouTube pretending to be the defenders of all things black, yet and still you can't show me one letter that you've written to VH1. You can't show me one email that you've written to BET. And the woman that's head of BET is a black female. You haven't shown me one letter that you've written to MTV. You don't have one tweet that you've sent to any of these record labels. You still buy all of these artists' music. These rappers who call black women bitches and hoes and tricks, and the one rapper ran around talking about I be nutting up in these bitches. You didn't hear one protest. I've seen one video on YouTube about that buffoonery. And that wasn't from this cadre of Negroes who want to run around talking about they want to defend black women. Where was y'all video on that? I mean, when you consider the rate of STDs running rampant in the black community, when you consider the fact that black women lead the nation in new HIV/AIDS cases, when you consider, according to the Center for Disease Control, 48% of black women 18 to 45 have genital herpes. When you consider these facts and look at the rate of STDs that is running rampant in the black community, how can you, if you're a defender of blackness, not be outraged for a rapper making a video or a song, I be nutting up in these bitches? And you cadre Negro, you can't show me one video. I went to your channel, I don't see it. What happened to it? Where did it go? Can I see it? Can I see the video that y'all made and sent to this guy, calling him a buffoon, calling him a race traitor, calling him Uncle Ruckus, calling him Uncle Tom, because he actually made a video that is far more negative and has a much wider audience than anything that's here on YouTube. But you Negroes didn't seem to find no time to do that. Why? Why is it that y'all can't find time to deal with the larger issues? And then this is what kills me about these Negroes. These Negroes will come and they'll say, well, you know, the stuff that you be talking about is just obvious. Everybody know about it. And, well, Negro, if everybody knows about it, and it's axiomatic, it's not a hidden secret, then what have you done about it? If you've known about it, And it's not secret. It's nothing new. See, you Negroes think that you're insulting me when you say that. But because some of you are so stupid, you can't see that you're actually insulting yourself. Because if it's well known and it's well documented and everybody knows about it, A, why do you get upset when I just mention it? B, why haven't you produced one video about it? C, why haven't you tried to solve it? But yet and still you will come to this channel and other channels that talk about this stuff, and you will leave your insults and your comments, and you'll make these videos and all this other stuff, but you will not touch VH1 and Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta or New York. You will not touch Basketball Wives, negative depiction of black women. Very negative, extremely negative depiction of black women. Creating them as ignorant, superficial, catty, loud, rude, dumb. And y'all have no problem with this stuff. Y'all watch it. Y'all sit there and y'all watch it. Matter of fact, let me make a side note here. And all you Negroes, if you got a girlfriend, if you have a wife, if you have a fiance, and she schedules her time around getting home so she can watch Love and Hip Hop, or any of these other minstrel ass reality shows that depict black women in a very negative light, if she got to rush home and make sure she watched that crap, you got bigger issues than what I'm saying on these videos on YouTube. You got bigger fish to fry. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, you will. And it's likewise the same for you sisters. If you got a Negro, and that Negro is sitting there and he's watching and he's creating statuses on his Facebook about Love and Hip Hop and all this other minstrel ass buffoonery that y'all love to watch, you got bigger issues than what people are saying on their YouTube channels. And if y'all don't understand what I mean, you will one day. I mean, this is absolutely insane. It makes no sense. This is the reason why people wonder, well, why don't you engage? I don't engage you because you're disingenuous. The people who are in my circle, they know me, they know my intellect, they know my education, they know what I do because I interact with them. And they understand that. They don't have to guess. They don't have to sit back and try to, no, because they know, because we interact. The people who are serious, and you can go to my Twitter timeline and read it. We engage on many issues. Serious issues, because I know those people are serious. I know those people want to actually do something. But you Negroes here on YouTube who comment on my videos from channels with no video uploads, no video activity, no subscribers, you just want to sit there and spam my comment section with your crap. And if there's anybody on these videos that's going to give a running commentary, that's going to be me. If you want to create running commentary about these issues, do that on your channel. Because if you continue to do it on mine, all I'm going to do is delete the comments and then I'm going to block you. It's just that simple. I don't care if you leave a comment on the content of my videos. I don't care if you give your opinion. I don't care if you have a running dialogue with somebody else in the comments and y'all going back and forth. That's all fair game. What's not fair game is for you not to have anything on your channel dealing with none of these issues, but yet and still you want to come to mine and voice your opinion. Well, if you were so concerned, it was so important to you, then you should have that on your channel. Your channel shouldn't be blank. So no, it's not gonna happen. You Negroes try to find every avenue to get away from your own responsibility. And the new avenue that you Negroes have found, when you can't get out of these positions that I put forward, is that, well, there's other things that's going on in America other than black issues. Oh, okay, so now this is the new tactic that you Negroes are going to try to use, is that you don't want to deal with just black issues, you want to deal with the broader community. So I'm supposed to believe that this same group of Negroes who sit back and watch Flavor Flav, a true minstrel, I Love New York, another minstrel, the Bad Girls Club, minstrels, all of these hip-hop videos on BET, all of those old movies that glorify gang drugs and violence and shooting and mayhem that BET loved to show. Y'all don't have no problem with that. Y'all don't write no letter of protest. Y'all watch that. Y'all sit back and watch Basketball Wives. Y'all sit back and watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. You Negroes sit back and watch Love and Hip Hop. But then now all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe that this same group of Negroes all of a sudden wanted to discuss the war, what's going on in the Middle East? You Negroes all of a sudden want to discuss geopolitical issues? You want to talk about foreign policy? You Negroes want to discuss the issues that are pertinent, goes on an economic scale, or trilateral commission? You want to discuss? This is what you want to talk about? Are you serious? You think I'm going to take you serious, Negro? After I look at the content of what you have on your channel and what you talk about, I can't take you serious, Negro. You're disingenuous. You're disingenuous. That's what you are. And for all of you Negroes who are here creating these videos, being the savior for black people on YouTube, and y'all will not take the time to deal with these reality shows, these minstrel shows that depict black people in a negative light. Y'all will not take a stance on them. Y'all will not write one letter of protest. Y'all will not organize a petition. Y'all won't even create a video saying, look, we need to stop watching this stuff. We need to target their advertisers. We need to do something about this. Because they are showing black women and black men in a negative light, and we can't afford that. Y'all haven't done that. So I can't even engage you. Don't even come at me wasting my time because you're not serious. Because if you were, you would produce that documentation where you dealt with that. And if you don't think Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop and all these other minstrel shows are a negative depiction of black people, then there's really not much else I can tell you. Because it is what it is.